In this video, I'm gonna break down what Harvard actually teaches about building profitable restaurant business models. These companies were not studied because of company branding or hype. They were studied because they solved the biggest problem in restaurants: guest experience, kitchen flow, labor efficiency, throughput, table turns, and layout design at scale. If you are a restaurant owner who wants to learn the Harvard way to build a profitable restaurant business, please follow along and learn more. People don't hate to wait. They hate feeling like nothing has happened. That's why some restaurants can hold guests for 30 to 45 minutes, while others get complaints after 5. According to Harvard Business School, what matters most is not the actual wait time, it's the perceived wait time. Take the restaurant chain, Benihana. Benihana did not just change the menu. They changed what guests were doing while they waited. At Benihana, food was not cooked behind a wall. The chef cooked right at the table where you eat and dine. Guests could see the ingredients being cooked. They could feel the heat of the stovetop while the food was being cooked. And they could see and feel the timing and precision of the skills of the chef. It was an art. Instead of waiting for food, guests were watching a show and being entertained, which turned every table into a mini kitchen for the guests. In their restaurant, only one chef prepared, cooked, and served the guests, saving labor costs. They changed their restaurant layout, so nearly 78% of their entire restaurant was dining space. Labor costs dropped to about 10 to 12% of sales, which is super low. As you know, most other groups have costs at about 25 to 35% of sales, which means that for every $100 in sales, Benihana only have to pay $10 to $12 in labor costs, which is really low. And this is how you can apply it to your own restaurant today. You do not need hibachi tables. You just need one visible moment. Finishing a sauce, for example, your waiter coming to your table to sprinkle the sauce at the very end. Trying to plate right, for example, tossing a salad right in front of your guests while the server is trying to serve the food so that the guests feel, wow, you are trying to prepare the food for me live. The rules are these visible moments that should be about 15 to 30 seconds so that the guests feel special in that moment. If the moments stretch for too long, it is actually more work for your team and it doesn't actually help the guests to feel special. You should build a process and a structure that is the same motion and same sequence every time so you can build a system around it. Make it very visible and clear to every guest, because even when your waiter is doing it for just one guest, every other table can see that at the same time. The bottom line is Benihana did not cut the waiting time. They made waiting for the food feel worth it. If your dining room is full, but your profits are not growing, we will explain why in this point. Most owners think the problem is demand, but according to Harvard Business School, it is not. The real problem is time. How long each guest sits at a table, including all the wasted minutes that no one sees. Let's talk about Shake Shack. Shake Shack's founder, Danny Meyer, is a Harvard Business School graduate. His work is studied at Harvard because it shows how strong systems and services should be built. The common problem was that most restaurants use tables for everything. Tables are used for reading menus, waiting to order, waiting to pay, waiting to be cleared. None of that makes money. So when a dining room feels full, but sales don't grow, the issue is almost always time per table. It is not about having not enough guests. Danny designed Shake Shack around one simple rule. Tables should only be used for eating. So he removed wasted time from the table. Shake Shack moved ordering off the table, having the menu ready before coming to the table, like at the counter, mobile ordering using their mobile app. They also moved payment off the table. They also kept the menu simple, and they used food runners instead of full table service. So this is what changed. The average guest time at Shake Shack is about 20 to 30 minutes, whereas the typical casual dining time is about 45 to 75 minutes. Shake Shack has the same number of tables, but more guests served per hour. Even one extra dining table turned during busy hours can increase profits by 10 to 30% more. And this is how you can use it for your own restaurant too. Start with one change. Let guests order earlier using QR code, pre-order, or simple combos. Let guests pay earlier using QR codes or handheld payments and more. You can also speed up table resets for you. There's a simple exercise that you may want to try. Try to find one busy shift that you have. From seating, to order, to food, to pay, to seat. Find a slower step across this and fix only that now. Bottom line is that Shake Shack proved a key Harvard rule. Revenue is limited by time, not the traffic. Danny Meyer did not add more tables to his stores. He changed how time was used and served more guests with the same dining room. Our next Harvard pointer is most restaurants' food starts cooking too early. Batch cooking feels safe and efficient, but it hides problem until the rush hour. Then kitchens overrun, overcook, and get into a frenzy. McDonald's fixed this by changing when cooking starts, not by cooking faster, and that one timing shift changed everything. Most restaurants cook food before customers officially order it. That sounds efficient, but it creates chaos. Back in the day, Burger King and McDonald's and more food courts used to do this. Burgers and chicken were cooked in large batches, food set under heat lamps for 10 to 30 minutes, and quality dropped before the food was sold. During rushes, kitchens either ran out suddenly, overcooked, and threw food away. Based on the Harvard Business School case study, this is how McDonald's fixed this and won. McDonald's fixed this with Made For You, which is a cook-to-order system they built. Food is only cooked when orders come in with the help of their ordering screen. The holding time is cut from 20 to 30 minutes to under 10 minutes. This meant 20 to 40% reduction in food waste across the system. They did not add labor or more people. They fixed timing. This brings us to our next point, which is to design your restaurant space to increase more orders. Most restaurants do not lose speed because of lazy staff or people. They lose speed because the restaurant layout forces people to walk too much, cross paths, and hand work off in an inefficient way. The Harvard Business School operation course focuses heavily on this because layout silently determine labor efficiency. The common problem in most restaurants is their staff and crew walk back and forth for ingredients. They have to prepare, assemble, and finish are not in the same zones. Food runners and dirty dishes cross paths. All of this adds steps, and Harvard Time and Motion studies show that 30 to 40% of kitchen time in poorly designed layout is spent on non-value add movements. Extra movement increases errors, slows service, and causes the crew to be tired. Chipotle is studied at Harvard because it shows how layout and process design helps Chipotle to grow and to scale. They did not rely on speed from people. They designed speed into the entire system and framework. So what Chipotle actually did is this. Chipotle kitchens are built like assembly lines with their food ingredients laid out in a certain sequence, and the food moves forward only, not backwards. Each worker on crew has one clear task. There's no role switching during the rush hour. The food ingredients are all kept within arm's reach so that the crew can reach the food very quickly. The layout is optimized for speed, not how it looks. This cuts down the thinking, walking, and handoffs. In high volume locations, there were 200 to 300 more transactions per hour during peak hours. Average order assembly were measured in seconds, not minutes. There were fewer errors because tasks did not change mid-rush. No one had to move faster. The system forced speed naturally because of the way that Chipotle created the layout. Schedule labor to match the demand in your restaurant. Most restaurants do not lose money during the rush. They lose it when it's slow. When payroll keeps running out but customers are not there anymore. Based on the Harvard Business School workforce and operations case study, this is where the biggest labor leaks usually come from. The problem with many restaurants is that most schedules are built around averages. But demand goes up and down throughout the day and throughout the week. Based on the Harvard Business School case study, the data shows that demand can swing 30 to 60% per hour within the same day. If you staff and you hire people and you manage them based on the average demand that you have, that can lead to 5 to 15% higher costs for you. And most of that waste happens outside the peak hours. Labor cost is typically around 25 to 35% of sales. So even small inefficiencies can hit margins hard. Let's look at what Starbucks and Domino's did to fix these problems. What Starbucks did is they scheduled by the hour, not by the day. They only added more people when sales were very high and in the peak hours. And what Domino's did was they used order data to forecast demand. They matched staffing and prep work needed to expected volume that they face. They adjusted as a team way before rush hour rather than during rush hour. The impact this has that we see is that when operators switch to same hour shift schedule and planning, this leads to 5 to 10% lower payroll costs and 10 to 20% higher sales per labor hour and better peak hour service without more people. This works because there's less idle payroll when it's slower, and there's better coverage even when it's during peak season, and there's more smoother shifts for staff when they hand over to each other. You can apply this to your restaurant today by doing the following. You can review sales and orders by the hour. You can compare the same day in terms of sales and demand over the last 3 to 4 weeks. You can add 2 to 3 hour short rush hour shifts. You can have one flex roll during your peak hours. Starbucks and Domino's prove a core Harvard learning that we all have seen. Labor should follow demand, not the average or the norm. Staffing averages cost money. Staffing based upon your actual true sales protects your margins and helps you to scale in a profitable way. Here's the part where I think Harvard does not emphasize this enough. These case studies do not work because the brands are famous. They work because the system built behind them are simple, predictable, and it helps them to scale. Benihana did not do well because of their flashy chefs. Shake Shack did not succeed because of their burgers. McDonald did not grow just because of their scale. Each one sat down and designed how work should flow so that they can grow and build their restaurants in a profitable way. That's the real learning behind the Harvard Business School case studies that we have showed so far. Restaurants do not get better by trying to push the people harder. They get better by trying to design better choices and systems into their entire team. If this way of thinking helps you, please stay around while I keep sharing more. I'm Desmond Lim, co-founder of Workstream, and we have worked with tens of thousands of restaurants over the past 10 years. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video because we are going to keep sharing more operating systems and real restaurant case studies on how we can help you to grow in a profitable way and to scale. Thank you so much for your time today. See you soon. Bye-bye.